What's up? What's up? What's up? You're checking out That's 86 podcast. I am your humble, gracious host that's highly favored. That's all that jazz that talks. I don't know. I'm just talking. But yeah, so my name is Bryant, also known as BryGuy, and usually I have my guy to my right of me, Theo, but he's not here again today. And like I say, the show must go on. I'm just kidding. That's just the inside joke. So what we like to do here is just talk about things, that's related to the hospitality industry, and just to check the temperature, see how everybody's doing out there. But right now it is a great day out. We just came off of a not so great Memorial Day weekend, real rainy and muggy. But today, Monday, well, today's Tuesday, but today and yesterday was pretty nice. Pretty fly weather, pretty good. I hope everybody was out there having a good time at cookouts, checking up on their families, went to some restaurants, showed some love, just doing everything that you would do on a Memorial Day weekend. All right, so that's kind of where that's at. Something that's been going around in the industry that's kind of sticky, I guess you would say, is this whole Steak 48 new policy that they actually released to the public. All right, so let me give you a little bit of background on it. All right, so Steak 48 has been going viral a lot of times, or a few times within the past year, of fights going on in multiple locations of their highly, high-end steakhouse establishments. Like, going viral with fighting is not good, definitely for business, unless you're in the boxing world, but not in the food and hospitality industry, because that's the last thing that's hospitable is violence. So Steak 48's been going really viral with that, and a lot of the news that comes out, or when you dig deep, if you're like me and you just keep on reading to find out what's the cause of it, it's just like, usually a lot of people like to take their mistresses there. It's just like messy. It's usually built around relationships that's going sour, and that seems to be the meetup spot. It's like, oh, you're taking this person to Steak 48. Oh, I'm gonna pull up. And it's kind of more like that energy that comes like, no, we gonna be there too, and then fights break out. This not only happened in the Chicago area, but it also happens, apparently, I think they have one in Texas somewhere, and they also, I think, one in Charlotte, and one here in Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania, I should say. So that kind of press is not really cool. That's, even though they say all press is good press, not all of it is cool, because then you have to think about the clientele. You have to think about the message that you're putting out there. Let me see. Let's look at their press release, or their new policy statement, outside of what it says on the $100 minimum per person, which is at a steakhouse is easy, All right, here we go. All right, so they're enforcing a dress code policy, right? Dress code: proper attire required for the comfort and enjoyment of all of our guests. We do have a strict dress code. To find out in detail, please click here. We look, there is a $100 per person food and beverage minimum. There is a $100 per person food and beverage minimum for each person at your table, in order to ensure that each guest enjoys the total experience of food, service, and atmosphere. This does not include tax or tip. To support our frontline service staff impacted by the current conditions, there is an 18% minimum gratuity added to all checks. We may contact you so be sure your contact information is up to date. We look forward to welcoming you. Now, that right there is pretty interesting, because that reads to me as you have the $100 per person, plus there's an 18% minimum gratuity added to the check. So it's already auto-graded. So it doesn't even matter if you add a tip or don't, because it's already included on top of the $100 per person. That's how I took that part. But then it carries on. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So now the dress code follows Sweatsuits or workout attire, which includes running, gym shorts, sports bras, heavy weighted hooded sweatshirts, or yoga workout pants. Exceptions: dry fit, polo style shirts with a collar are allowed. Exception: non-athletic material shorts are allowed for men and women and must come down to mid thigh or have at least 5-inch leg. Another exception: sweatshirts without a hood and that only contain one small logo are allowed. Now I'm back. All right, sweatshirts or t-shirts with large images, screen printing, or large logos, large writing, or characters. Men's tank tops or sleeveless shirts, so I won't be able to get in right now. Exposed undergarments. I guess that's bustier. Yeah, bustier tops, corset tops, bandeau tops, or tube tops, unless each is worn under a waist-length jacket. Any clothing that is excessively revealing and shows an overly bare midriff or excessive cleavage. Any clothing with language or graphics that are vulgar or sexually explicit, excessively frayed or torn clothing. Clothing emitting offensive odors such as whatever. Excessive perfume, cologne, tobacco, and or marijuana odors. All hats for gentlemen, I guess. Ball cap style hats for women. Bandanas worn as headwear. Footwear is required, but there are no restrictions on the type of footwear worn. Please note, management reserves the right to change and or update the dress code at any time. So a lot of people have been going off the rocker for this which has been released by the Steak 48 steakhouse establishments nationwide, not in every market, but just in some alarming markets, I would say. Has a lot of backlash as far as a lot of people are feeling that they're being discriminated against because it just seems like they're targeting the black consumer. I see that. I can see that. And a lot of people are saying $100. You can't sit there and make people pay $100 per guest for food that's unhospitable. I feel that too. I understand. I don't agree with it though. I don't agree with it. Before I jump into any more detail on that, start off with the chairs because things are about to get interesting. Boom. All right, so cheers. Let's dive into it. First of all, I believe that any business, whether it's a person or an establishment, has the right to decide how they want to conduct business. So if they change the rules, they could do that because it's how they want to do their business. And with that being said, you have the option to decide if you want to do business with them or not. I respect the fact that they actually went public with this because a lot of places wouldn't have. They would have just did it and then, carried on with their lives. But this is I view it as courtesy of saying, all right, no, let's let it all be clear and known. We'll accept the backlash that's going to come with this, but at least everybody knows instead of showing up, having this experience, and then get the bill, or then get the rules upon sitting down. So now before you even go there, they're already telling you what type of time it is when you're in their establishment. It's like if you're coming here, you be prepared to pay $100 minimum per person. Be prepared. If you're not trying to spend that, then it's no need for you to be here. Pretty much, that's just them laying the laws. If you before you get here, here's our dress code. If you want to come in here, this is how you have to dress. So think about get your outfit together. Here you can always go and search and figure out our dress code because it's everywhere. So you can sit there and see if whatever you're preparing to wear is proper. It's the proper attire for our clientele, for what we're trying to go for. So there are, I think I commend them for just even being that vulnerable to do something like this, and to sit there and just stick in it, and to have their employees' backs by sitting there. It's already look, it's already auto graded. Our staff is going to get their 18%. Like if you want to get like you're still welcome to give more if you like. Hold on. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Fennell. This is the That's 86 podcast. What's up, Darnell?
I thought this was a goddamn voicemail.
No. I'm live filming right now. What's up? Don't say
Oh,
anything that you wouldn't like to be heard right now.
oh no, it's all good. My fault. I was actually just checking on you. I wasn't online to see you was filming, so let me check on the Brody.
I appreciate that. I was definitely thinking about you too. I guess I'll hit you up after this is over.
All right, sounds good.
All right, ciao.
All right.
All right, but yeah. So everybody, like, man, that's love. That's love. That's love. But they're already telling you the time. They're taking care of their staff by already having the 18% gratuity added to the check. So it's just like, bam. But you're still welcome if you want to add more. You can do that. But you just can't add less. You know. And I guess that depends on the level of service. If you feel like if they've exceeded the steps of service for you, it's like, all right, I like that. They were actually pretty cool. I want to toss them a little bit more. It's nothing wrong with that. I guess if it doesn't excel your level of service that you're expecting to receive with this bill that you got, then I guess that's grounds for a complaint, which you would call over the manager, and then you guys have that conversation and see what would happen. Thus. I don't know how that looks. I don't know what their policies are on any of those procedures, but I do think that they did make a good move. They made a good move for where they're trying to go as far as the business stance. Like I don't hear like any other steakhouse. I don't hear altercations going down at Del Fresco's. Who else? Who else? I don't hear anything going on at the Logan Steakhouse. I just don't hear of these kind of like instances going on, like violence going on in other steakhouses as much as I did at Steak 48. I didn't even hear anything of Eddie V's, I haven't heard so much violence, or these kind of altercations going on, which why they probably don't even have a dress code. So with that being said, you can just go to any of those steakhouses. Logan's right down the street from Steak 48, per se, Definitely Del Frisco's is around the corner. Like Eddie V's is further out, but these are all other options that you can go to if you don't want to sit there and abide by the dress code or the rules that they're coming up with the minimum. Then it's like, all right, cool, go there, because clientele, whoever wants to be around in that environment where they don't have to sit there and worry if a fight's going to break out or anything like that, maybe a shootout, maybe maybe plates get thrown, maybe they want to pay, maybe people want to pay for the luxury of not having to worry about any of those stresses. That's the convenience. That's a convenience bill right there, or a convenience fee. It's just like I pay for the convenience not to deal with any of that shit. If it's going to cost me at least $200 to know that I can eat comfortably and not have to sit there and look over my shoulder and be like, oh, it's breaking out. Fine, fine. That's one less thing I got to think about. So I don't know. For the brand itself, I think that that's another good thing on. I think that's another good thing move, because it's just like nobody wants to be known as the steakhouse that's anything's liable to pop off. It doesn't look good for potential investors. It doesn't look good for the brand. It just doesn't look good for potential consumers. So business wise, it's just like a no. I'm going to sit there and let you all know that I care about the safety of all of you all who may want to come in here. I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move for the business because now they have more room to expand. Now they can raise the prices, just because of the convenience of not having to worry about any of the nonsense. Like, yeah, they can do a lot with these moves, with that, with that. I wish Theo was here so I could sit there and bounce that idea off of him, or that concept. Maybe next time though. Maybe next time. Maybe rehash that. But even outside of that, let's see. Some more big news is that all right. So Fawn Weaver, she does it again. Right now, she's sitting there like helping other people, other entrepreneurs within the spirits world get going, because it's so hard. So she pretty much started up, I guess you would say a nonprofit or some kind of fund where she's willing to invest and help like people like her. That's it. Let's just go through it. All right. So, let's see. Nope. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. All right, so on Tuesday, Miss Weavers, the company founder and chief executive, went a step further towards diversifying an industry long dominated by white men, as the company announced the creation of a $50 million investment fund aimed at helping minority-owned spirit business grow. The announcement was timed to mark the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre, in which a prosperous black neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma was destroyed and hundreds of residents were killed by a white mob. Which she says, I'm looking for the brands that have the ability to be the next Uncle Nares, she said during a recent video conference call with her staff. What that means to me is they are not building to flip. They're not building to sell. They're building to create generational wealth. Now, that right there, I think that's pretty cool. Bravo. Something had to happen, Somebody had to kick in the doors, there was a little bit of space available in this open market. And she saw that opportunity and she went through it with her great brand of Uncle Nares and the story behind it. And, Nares Green being the actual creator of Jack Daniels. But he was a slave. So we all know this story. It's a household story. It's been broadcast on every news station. And she's still just excelling, excelling. She keeps the family involved and all of that. Like, she's doing everything right. Give her flowers. Bravo. Commend you. But then now she's taking it even a step further. That whole saying that's totally wrong, like the crabs in a barrel, like that whole thing is a whole whatever. But with that, still pulling up everybody else. She's like, no. There's enough room for all of us because it's a creative space. Our blends might be different in a whiskey world. Oh, you got tequila. Oh, you got cognac or brandy. You got this, you got that. Oh, no. Come on. No, there's room. You don't have, no. The glass ceiling, I hear you. We create a new glass ceiling that goes even further where we can shatter, like whatever. It's just like, bring it on, bring more people. And that's pretty awesome. That's amazing, Another friend, Jackie. What is Jackie? The fund already has 2 investments in the pipeline. One is a $2 million stake in Jack from Brooklyn, which in 2012 became the first known black-owned distillery to open up in the United States since Prohibition, but ran out of money and closed. The money will go towards a relaunch of Sorrel. I don't know if you know that, but that's a great brand. Jackie, he's a fantastic writer. He's funny. He stands true. A sweet spice hibiscus liqueur with Caribbean root developed by the distillery's founder, Jackie Summers. that's pretty cool. And then there's a second 2 million investment is for I don't even know how you say this. Uh, Equano, I guess, rum company, a British rum brand name for. I mean, yeah, I don't even know the guy's name. Olonda. Please, I'm butchering the name. Equano, a prominent figure in the abolition movement, who was born in Africa and enslaved in the Caribbean and brought his way to freedom in 1766. All right, cool. So they're making moves. They have two great people that they already invested in, and that's amazing. 2 million. That's a lot. You guys probably don't think it's a lot, but it's a lot. It's more than it's more than these brands have even started off with, so that since they already have like their facilities and their operations on how they were doing things. 2 million, it's so much you can do with that. So much now can go to marketing and branding. So much can go to expanding the operation line. You can start staffing people with 2 million and you already have a brand. That's yeah, that's gonna go a long way, a long way. So shouts out to Fawn Weaver for that. She keeps making history. I tell you, man. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. How you guys feeling out there? I'm feeling good. Right now, I'm still drinking some tequila. That's from a black-owned brand, Telero Silver. Um, definitely gonna Definitely going to try to make some margaritas today. That's the plan. Sip a little, talk a little bit more about what's going on. Just not in the industry. Could be. Look at that. Look at that. At a fight. Put up a little bit of a fight, you line. But yeah, so what else I got going on? Just listening to another podcast called the Chef Podcast, from a chef here in Philadelphia, Eli. It's the owner of Fork. Pretty cool guy. Has a cool brother, Corey. Yeah. But Eli was the one that was in the train accident a couple years ago, messed up his spine. So just listening to his podcast, really great stuff. Glad I came across it. Let's see. All right. Another news, Amazon Fresh opened its first DC area grocery store Thursday, featuring high-tech shopping carts and Alexa kiosk. The first customers lined up at 4 a.m. I mean, this is pretty big news. This is pretty interesting. Even on the way that it goes, like no matter how you even think of it, is pretty interesting. Just because, yo, it's another grocery store. Like I believe Amazon. What did they buy out Whole Foods or something like that? I believe they bought out Whole Foods. I think that's enough. Yeah, I think that's enough. I think that's gonna be enough. But what is that like? What is the way of supermarket shopping for groceries look now? Like you have high tech, smart. I don't know. I don't even know what the shopping carts are going to look like or do. Are they going to be walking themselves? I mean, rolling themselves, or do they? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean by high tech shopping carts? I get the Alexa kiosk. I think I do. I think you'll just ask Alexa or rattle off what you have and then they'll sum it up. I don't know. But for people to be lined up at 4 a.m. to get in there, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Why wait? Why are you in line at 4 o'clock? Maybe you need to get some eggs in order to cook breakfast for the kids or the family when they wake up. I can see if you're a 4 a.m. kind of person. I guess. How long does this stay open? Like, what are the hours? Is it 24 hours? Like, Amazon. Amazon is trying to take over the world. I say that, but then I'm probably one of the people that's like leaving a bar at 3 a.m. when they get something to eat. Boom. Yeah. That's more likely. Yep. There is a space for it. I can see myself doing that. Doing that, like, hey, let me try to cook something. Where should I go? You know what? Fresh is open. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah. Yeah. Amazon Fresh. Jeez. Yeah. The way of technology, the way of the world. All right, let's see. So right now I decided to start making my margarita. So far I have the lime juice added. I have the tequila, Tolero silver that I just poured in there. Going to add a little bit of sweetener. This right here is some 100% pure, raw, unfiltered honey. Throw that in there. Boom. And I kind of want to, or I'm going to do this version, and then I want to do a strawberry preserve version as well. So I'll just keep it like this. I like a more classic style of margarita. I don't like to add like the triple sec or anything like that. It's so easy. It's just 3 ingredients. It's just tequila. It's just the honey or sugar or agave, whatever sweetener you want to use, and lime. 3 ingredients. Sit. If you ever seen an Archer episode when he's cussing, when he's out at a resort, and he's like, have you ever made a margarita? It's 3 ingredients. What is this? Sour mix? You know, and all this kind of stuff. So it's just funny because it's so simple. It's such a simple concept. My ice is all melting because I have it in front of all these lights that's killing it. Typically I would just put it over fresh ice, but since the way the situation is working out here, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pour it on the same Dirty Rocks. Just going to do it that way. So I don't need the strainer, the double strain. All right, cheers. Yeah, that's good. All right, but yeah, so moving right along with the topics. The topics. All right, so this one right here was really surprising to me. Lee from Hopsing Laundromat made a post about this whole COVID, vaccination thing, right? When I say thing, I mean like, all right, so employers can require COVID-19 vaccines under federal law. New guidance states. All right, so what Lee says is, what's next? A bar owner is going to require his guests to show proof of vaccination. This is absolutely un-American and definitely not USA. Now that's monumental because Lee really doesn't he hardly posts. He's one of those enigmas, just like his space that's highly acclaimed, Hopsing Laundromat. He's really like off the scene. He doesn't really voice too much. So for him to sit there and say something is just like shocking to me, and definitely like that's taking a stand. But that's just me. I like to read between the lines of what people are actually saying, like he does. Like, this is right. I'm vibing with him. Like, Is it going to get to the point where everybody's going to sit there and say, no, in order to enter our establishment, we need to see your vaccination card? Are you going to do that? You don't have. They don't have to show you that, you know. And everybody's saying that this whole thing is like uh going against your HIPAA rights. It's like, no, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. That's not even what that means, you know. Everyone's just using all these keywords and not knowing exactly what they mean, or how to even state what it is that they're trying to argue. It's just like, well, no. Like, we're, because I do have privacy. If I'm vaccinated, I'm vaccinated. You don't need to know that. I can show you, I can tell you that I am, but you can't warrant that. You know? Like, that's for me to know. The government can know it too, you know, if they take your whatever, you know, your shot, they put you in a system. They know it. I don't have to disclose any of that information to anyone else unless I choose to, which is voluntary. So, like, for the laws to go this way, for employers to be able to at will make that a reason to get rid of people, their employees. That's tough. That's tough. That's a hard one. I understand. I understand for the sheer fact that it's like you're thinking of trying to protect your consumers, your customers, and your employees and yourself from unvaccinated people. I get it. I can see how you can get into that world. But to sit there and require someone to do something if they don't want, even though they don't want to do it, and that makes them, that puts them, it's like, well, just because you're not getting vaccinated, you can't work here. That's fucked up. I have to take a stand on that. I think that's really fucked up, because it's just like, well, so you're going to force someone to go against their own philosophy, their own morals, just because. It's not just because you can. It's like this person has a family, this person has this well maybe has a family, has bills to pay, you know. It's still society. It's like, I've been working here forever, and now just because I'm not, just because of this is the last straw right here. This is the one where, like, I have to sit there and question, like, whether I have to sit there and fold to get the vaccination or not. Like, I have to compromise my integrity, I guess you would say, if I'm putting myself in the mindset of all these sides. It's just like, dang, that's really messed up. You know? Like, I have to go against everything in my bones just to be able to fit in with societal standards. So it's pretty much like you're being forced to do something in a passive way. Because, like, well, you can't work if you're not vaccinated. It's just like, damn, I enjoy this, you know? But I don't want to go through that because I've done research. You know, however people are going to approach it, you know, whatever the theories they come up with, whatever. They have a reason why they are not getting vaccinated, you know? But for employers to dictate that, I guess I'm contradicting myself for what I said before, because if their policy is, you know, $100 per person, if that's how they want to carry their business, you know, you can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at it because they have the option to just go somewhere else. So I guess with that in mind, it's just like, shit, damn, yeah, if that's how they want to run their business, if they want their business, their employees, to be fully vaccinated in order to work there, then shit, damn, that's how they want to run their business. They want to be safe. They want to make sure everybody that comes through there is saved. Yeah. 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 But I understand where Lee is coming from. How far is the government going to go with this? Definitely with it. Like, it's hard to be hospitable. Like, are you going to start turning away patrons that's not vaccinated then? It's just like, well, if your staff has to be vaccinated, then everybody that comes in there might as well as well, you know? Everybody. It's like, can I see your vaccination card? If you don't have it, you can't come in here. Just like when it comes to serving serving alcohol. It's just like, do you have ID to prove that you're this age? You don't? Well, I can't serve you. I guess it's gonna have to be like that then. Now you're turning away who knows how much business, you know? I don't know. I don't know. But that's pretty that there's something there. There's something to dive in deeper with that. Cause like, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. Like, how long are people want to carry around their vaccination cards? Do you just wear a band-aid right here and be like, see, I just got my second shot. Like, or I had my second shot. You see this? You know, like, this is another card I'm going to have to carry around, even though now we're going here with it, you know, with technology. Like, is there something like, I don't know, like on the app that I can sit there and have it and then do like the Apple Pay? Doop, it's valid. See, you know, like confusing times. Definitely with business. Definitely with trying to reopen the hospitality industry. It's like, what is even being hospitable anymore? I guess opening up your doors is it's going to be considered hospitable. Forget how you treat the people that's in there or that's trying to get in. You know, like, is everything going to become an exclusive, like an exclusive bar or restaurant? Is it reservations only? So therefore, we can look you up before you come in to see if you're in a system of vaccination or not. Like, and who's your plus one? You know, like we gotta look into that too. Or, you know, like, wow, what? I thought we were just trying to feed people, you know, have a good time. Some unvaccinated person is gonna ruin the time. They're gonna ruin the bop. Like, I thought we were all people. I thought this was America. I thought this was America. Of course, that means something different to everybody. That's why that statement is so stupid. Thought this was America. Yes, it's America. So diverse. So many different stories. One place. So many different cultures. So many different understandings. But, yeah. 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 Alright, that's sad. What else we got going on? I swear I started off with high energy, you know, like I had nothing but good intentions, but this is what comes out when I talk. I can see why people don't like me. Oh, okay, another depressing topic. All right, so Schwanky DC Wharf restaurant Delmar was forced to shut down after staff walkout. All right, so this right here is a popular place in DC. It was the rave. Well, the crave, everybody was just gone. Like, great money, table turns high. Hey, what's up, Jason? I'll touch on that. I'll touch on that. Yeah. What was I? Oh yeah, swanky place, table turns, like people walking out with like making $1,000 in tips, all of this kind of stuff. You know, like great place. You know, pre-COVID and all that. You know, post-COVID, things were a little bit different, but it was a popular place that everybody wanted to be at. Everybody wanted to go to. Now the walkout had happened. What had happened was, no, the walkout occurred because management was not great apparently. Which usually in the case they aren't. But the manager didn't have the emotional intelligence to be able to relate to the staff, so therefore it's more militant style, right? But it but the management was so disconnected from the culture of people, different cultures, and just being able to relate to human people, you know, well, human beings, just period. So sitting there, like it's the thing, like everyone always says to me, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And this is how I talk. You guys hear me week after week. This is how I talk, you know. But there's a lot of thought that goes into it before I say it. the way it's it, like I won't put on a fake, but like, hey, like I can't sit there and be like, I can't sit there and talk any other way than how I talk, and that's one thing. And this is the tone. This is the tone. Some people think that it's condescending. I think that, hey, I got stuck in a crazy weird place in puberty where it's like I got enough treble and I got enough bass that just shakes, but they're not resonant to one another, so it's not uniform. So it just but I understand that, and after spending time, you understand this is how I talk. Now, this management or this manager would say things to people about their sexual preference, not there as in the management, but the person or the employee. Say things about the way they dress, or say that it's always like you have an attitude, and not really understanding the person. Just saying these things, and this person comes from an international market. So it's just like, there's a barrier within, like, okay, all right, there's a cultural barrier. If you're from somewhere in the international market that's not America, and you come to America and you come from a strict land, it's just like, no, this will never happen where I'm from. You can't see that person. You'll be killed. You should not be seeing that person. And it's like, well, you're not there, you're here. So it's like, read the room. Read the room. Read the room. And so this goes further to the diversity and inclusion movement within establishments. We're just like, well, no, we're not in Germany, No. Just because my eye color is different doesn't mean that I'm not human. Like I'm trying to tap around this delicately because it could become really controversial, and this podcast is more so just not the poke anybody or whatever, not the beat anybody down, but it's more so just so you can think and just strike conversation. But yeah, so like you can't sit there and do that to the people, even though you're not from here. None of us are really from here. From America, not none of us, but majority are not from America. So you have to learn how to adapt. And when you don't do that, you get a whole staff walkout because it was brought to the attention of HR. Then human resources said they're going to set up a meeting with the staff. The staff was just like, all right, cool. We'll have this meeting if the owner himself is also present for this meeting. And that wasn't going to happen because he has other things to do, because he has a whole franchise, He has other restaurants he got to go to. He has food and wine festivals and all that to go to. So he wasn't going to be there. And they're just like, if he's not here, then there's no point in us meeting, So they all walked out. So the conclusion of that was that they were going to send the manager or the management team for diversity and inclusion classes, so that person or these people can become better at getting integrated with things. Classes aren't it. It's not how you're going to solve this issue, because that, like, classes are classes. Like I took a lot of classes throughout life, and I don't remember any of that, and I don't make any of that practical because it doesn't matter to me. That doesn't affect my life, It doesn't affect my life. Like, what do I care about, like, algebra now? Like, no, pre-calculus, calculus. I mean, some aspects I could use for, when I'm making cocktails and all of that, but it's not a tool that I don't care about any of that, Like, they didn't teach me anything about wine, or, I didn't even learn, what? No. So moving forward, diversity is just, it's like, I only interact with these people a certain amount of time every day. And the most of the time, if I'm in an establishment like that, that's a well-oiled machine. You don't like. I don't have to interact with the staff unless I'm telling them something. If I'm coming from the aspect of how this management team seems to be running, it's like, no, I see them at pre-shift, tell them what's that. They go and do their jobs. My job, I go around and talk to all of the tables, to make sure that they're having a good time. They leave, then I'm doing the numbers. What do I have to be mindful of them? Like, I don't even interact with them, Like, that's how I could see that going. So you never see them, your coworkers, because these are your peers. They're your coworkers. I don't care about the titles and that at all. Like, no, they're your coworkers. See them as human. They got lives. They're people. You don't see them as people, and that's why a walkout happens. And now they weren't able to reopen. Well, they're probably reopened now, but they weren't able to open throughout their busiest times because the staff wasn't coming back because of management, how that went. That's, I'm going to keep following up to see how this goes because it's pretty interesting. All right, I think this is enough time. I think this is good. I should probably do that and then make this strawberry margarita. Yeah, I could do that. All right, let me look at what Jason said. All right, school systems do the same thing. Children have to get the shots, physicals to attend. It's definitely the American way. It's crazy. It's yeah. I mean, and it's even more crazier that I understand why children have to get certain things. Now vaccines are a lot different, or like flu shots and all of that are a lot different than the COVID shot, because the COVID shot is more for altering your DNA. It's not just a regular vaccination or vaccine. It goes all the way. All right, now I'm going to go all the way into the whole detail. I don't need to do that, but it's a lot different than a regular vaccination or a normal vaccine. And kids also don't have the immune system built up strong enough in order to even fight off a lot of things. That's why they can't eat like rare steaks or medium rare steaks or burgers or anything like that. Like, it has to be well done. So, oh man, to start injecting kids with all these things it's nasty. It's nasty because they're still like, unlike people in their 20s to early 40s, that whole bracket right there, immune system is rocking, it's rolling, it's healthy, it's ready to fight off all of it. That's why the vaccination, if you get the vaccination, you're around that age bracket, it's like, all right, cool, Let's work together. We're strong enough. We're not gonna let you be the end all be all, because we're strong enough to fight you off if it becomes a real issue. Anybody older, no, your immune system is definitely getting a lot weaker, so that vaccination is going to dominate them. Kids dominate them. That's why they're taking all these precautions and doing it the way that they're doing it, but they're rushing all of it, and it hasn't even been enough time to whatever, So yes, it is the American way. Bullying until your live video gets interrupted. All right. I don't know if they cut me, but all right, cool. I guess I'll give who I'm gonna give a highlight to. Let's see. Because I usually have all of this together. I mean, I guess I could. I was just listening to his. All right, cool. All right, so I'll give a special highlight out to Chef Eli Culp. I was just listening to his podcast that's called the Radio Podcast. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of Philadelphia big names. There's a lot of New York big names. It's a lot of East Coast big name chefs and hospitality people interviews, and I mean, like the level, because he's a top level chef. So, the people that he's interviewing, you've heard of. So the relationship they have, because they all have come up together, is more genuine. It doesn't sound like he's trying to like force anything. It's just a conversation that comes from care. Like they're talking about cancer. Like how are they running a restaurant while they're having cancer. There's like how they feel on COVID. Different episode. How they feel on COVID. How do they like? How are they juggling all this? While raising kids. Like it's really in depth. And it's actually humanizing business or restaurant owners more so like than what because you don't know the struggles that they're going through in life on top of the stress of the business and all of it. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty enlightening, and it's really relaxed and chill. So shout out to you, chef. Hopefully you're getting better, physically every day, definitely through therapy. All right. And the live has ended. Kind of enjoyed that. All right, cool. Turn that off. But yeah, so that's still going. All right, cool. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much that. Thank you for checking out That's 86 podcast. It's a lot harder to do things by yourself when you can't bounce them off of another person. I keep saying that every episode that I have to do by myself. I don't have to do them, but I do them because the show must go on, and it kind of gives me more confidence to be able to talk. Like I know I've been doing this for almost an hour now, just on my own. Even though it may be sounding like it's rambling, it's touching on something that hopefully it provokes you and gets you thinking of like, wow, I didn't even think of it that way. But yeah, all right. Cheers. Thank you for checking out That's 86 podcast. Remember, next week to check us out again. Hopefully Theo will be here with another voice, another opinion. Conversation could flow a little bit differently. Keep on checking out the That's 86 podcast on www.thats86.com. There's always merch there. You can always go to the YouTube if you want the visual experience. Just go to YouTube and type in That's 86 podcast, where you can see the facial expressions, where you can see how everything goes. All right. So thank you for tuning in.